people who have just really came into the industry and made their impact. Tina, she is very dear to my heart because she is a Southern belle, you guys. She is from the South and came to California doing her thing, but she has a passion. Her passion is, of course, for acting and the entertainment career industry, but she also has a passion for just people in general, okay? Especially for those who are dealing with cancer. And, I have to let her tell you her story and stuff, but just the fact that she's willing to come on the show today to just show you guys how to properly protect yourself against COVID-19 means so much to me, you guys. And so I want all of us to be safe. I want all okay? So without any further ado, let's welcome Tina King to the show. Woohoo! Come on, Tina. Oh gosh, I'm so happy. I'm so happy.
Wow, this is good.
You doing good?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm great.
Awesome. How you hanging in there doing this,
Oh, well, you know what? I had a couple of attacks, of course, because, this virus is new. I've worked with with SARS, and I've worked with a lot of virus, swine flu, Ebola. I've worked through a lot of viruses and a lot of epidemic and stuff like that, a lot of crisis. But this virus is the one that actually got everybody up in the uproar because it changes from day to day, and it's kind of like it's global. It started in China, went to Spain, and hit the States and went to New York. And the worst thing about it is the fact that it's claiming lives. So this is kind of like, you have doctors that are saying this about it, then you have other doctors that are saying that, and you're hearing all this press in the media. So it got a lot of people, anxiety attacks and panic attacks, stuff like that. People really don't know really what to do. I know it's kind of a shame to kind of come on here and tell people how to properly wash their hands and to stay safe, because we're supposed to have been washing our hands
all the time.
All the time. Not only washing your hands, but also not putting your hands in your face. You coming in contact with your own self. You have to wash your face as well. Yeah. So I'm so glad that you wanted me to, have me on the show so I can actually tell people my biggest pet peeves, working as well as being a part of the public and actually seeing what people are doing.
Yeah. Because a lot of people don't, we see what's been displayed on media, right? And I know from being a media outlet that we show you really what we want you to see. Okay. Right. And that's just facts. Okay. And what actually benefit us, in a bigger way. But at the same time, people like you who are on the front line with those patients and those people dealing with coronavirus, you really see what's really happening.
Right.
People are really reacting to the coronavirus and the truth, because, a lot of people, and I'm going to get to you putting the mask on, but a lot of people, I just have to say this because a lot of people compare it to the flu. They compare it to other things. And we all have even myself have been to be corrected on, no, it's not this and no, it's not that, because I'm not in that field. I'm going based off what I hear the media say, right? Yes. And so can you explain to us a little bit, since you've been through those different types of epidemics and different things before, the difference in the coronavirus and other things such as the flu?
Well, the average flu, if you really think about it, we have people that's dying every year from the flu, but it's between something like 12 and 18,000 people. See, what happened is that didn't trickle through the news. What's been trickling through the news is this coronavirus, this COVID-19. That has actually made an impact in the news, and we're actually seeing the people who's actually dying. When someone dies with the flu, we don't hear about it.
I know it.
all of a sudden here in China, we had 50,000 people that died, they say. So, and then, you know, in New York City, a night, they're saying between 400 and 700 people are dying. They're also showing people who's been in the morgue has been overpacked, that they're actually burying people. You know, I hate to say that, but they're actually burying people. We're actually seeing that as a public. You know what I mean? We're also letting people know, oh, in Atlanta, Georgia itself, you're seeing 700 people, 400 people are dying nightly, or, you know, they're actually putting a number on it. We wasn't hearing that when it comes with a flu. It's just a flu. We all get the flu and we get better. But when you have it, when the media got involved with the coronavirus, what happened is they started spreading fear. They start putting panic out there.
Yes, that's true.
Putting numbers on something that makes people to go out here and shop and buy all this bleach and buy all this unnecessary stuff. I mean, I'm not saying you're not supposed to have it, but come on now. I mean, when you put people in fear, now you go to the grocery stores and you can't barely find food.
Yeah.
So that's the thing that's difference between the flu, because it was unannounced, as well as this COVID-19 virus, is because they put it in the media and it become, you know, and it's not like it hasn't been around. It's been around for a long time.
Yeah.
It's been around for a long time. It's just that there's different strands. And this is the strand here that actually went globally and that had a bigger impact.
Yeah. Wow.
And it's the sad thing about it is they tell you the only thing that keeps you safe is washing your hands, basically personal hygiene. And I'm like, isn't that something? You know, and the fact that if you're sick, stay home, don't go to work. You know, that's so important, you know, because my thing is you and I look healthy and we feel good and we might not catch everybody that gets the flu don't show any symptoms and we fight it off. But there might be somebody that you come in contact, like somebody who has a low immune system, cancer, somebody who have diabetes, somebody who's have asthma, some type of respiratory, you know, upper respiratory illness. And when they get it, they can't fight it off as fast as you could.
Wow.
That's what people have to be aware of. They have to be aware of. It's not about you. It's about your neighbor. You know, that's what it's about. It's about you being cautious about what you're doing because your surrounding might not be as safe. Mm-hmm.
Look, one of the things that I think about, you know, because especially financially, right? People, until they kind of shut things down, even with people being sick, they still would go to work because they have to pay their bills, you know? Right. And so it's kind of like you having to make a choice. Either I pay my bills, you know, or I'm gonna stay home to protect someone else, but yet and still I'm going to suffer financially. And so a lot of people right now, of course, are, you know, suffering financially, and then a lot of people aren't suffering financially.
Well, there's a lot of artists. I can only speak from the artist point of view because I'm with the artists all the time. And there's a lot of artists that's basically, you know, they were either band members, they have a band, and they were just basically self-employed. A lot of beauticians, a lot of people that worked in the hotels, a lot of hotels in Las Vegas as well as California has shut down.
Yeah.
So that actually put a lot of people right now. I think we're working with like 16 million people unemployed.
Yeah.
And some people like me who work in the health field, we have to go because really to tell you, I work in a special unit. I work in behavioral health, and our unit itself, you can't really let your employees leave like that because it's a shutdown unit.
Oh.
So we don't have anybody to replace us. So once we're sick, they tell us to go and, you know, go in and go through our quarantine, but then we have to come back to work.
Wow.
And that's mostly people on the front line. When you're a nurse and you're a doctor or any healthcare and you're on the clock, yeah, they're going to send you home to get quarantined, but you have to come back. A lot of people, a lot of doctors can't go home and sit. A lot of nurses who specialize in a lot of areas can't take that break.
Wow.
They just have to, treat it as a flu, get better, but then they're back on the front line.
Wow, that is so deep. And I mean, I guess I think about, woo, that's so deep. Like, I just want to cry, like, because, we take so much stuff for granted that, you don't realize the, how can I say, the level of everybody's job and what they're doing that actually helps save other people's lives, that we don't have to go out there and do that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We have people like you who are out there risking your life for us,
Mm-hmm.
And, I think about with the mask, they say, and I had I can't lie, I had this thing about it, because at first I knew in my heart, I said, you know what? We need to be wearing those masks. I said, because I'm watching those people over there in China, and those people wearing masks all the time. So something here is not mixing,
Well, I do have a pet peeve about those masks, the surgical masks. My biggest pet peeve is the fact that it doesn't provide that much support.
Wow.
No, ma'am. This is a surgical mask. Yes, it does little. To have one is better than not to have anything at all. And what I understand now, they're fining people who don't have their mask on up to $1,000 fine, from what I understand.
Yeah.
So now, this is my biggest problem is with these surgical masks, because when we have them on, it really doesn't provide that much support. Look at this, is open. This is open. It's not really supporting anything. You see what I'm saying? It has no filter. It's just there around your face. It's just up on your face like this. Nothing is really, you can probably pinch it here to kind of make it smooth it into your nose, but this is open. Under here is open.
Wow.
It doesn't provide that much. And guess what? You can't see me talking, and you can't see me smiling. And we like to talk face to face, and we like to communicate.
Yeah.
The biggest mistake that I've seen people do, they pull this mask down underneath their chin.
Oh my God, girl, say it, girl, say it.
They pull it underneath their chin. So the person that you're talking to, they're spreading their talk. And then guess what you do afterwards? You pull it back up.
Oh my God, that is so true. I see people do that all the time.
Guess what? You just breathe in Corona. You just breathe in Rona. Yes. Because my thing is, people do this and they keep it down for hours.
They do it. I see people do it
down for hours. And then they go ahead and they do it like this to here again. That you might as well take it off. You might as well take it off. And then you're not changing it. You're walking around with this one mask all day long.
Wow.
All day.
Wow. That is deep.
That's my biggest pet peeve with the surgical mask. That's why they tell people, don't use this. This is not good. And even if you have your own protective mask, Amazon, don't take it down and talk. No, that's not the way to do it. You keep that on and you talk to them. And sometimes we have to keep it on 12 hours a shift, and and it's, some people get headaches, and you can't keep a mask on all day. But you know what? That's just, hey, that's the way it is for right now. But when you put it on your face and you pull it down all day long and keep it down for hours, I mean, you've done yourself injustice.
Wow.
You've done a lot of injustice. You haven't done anything, because now your mask has germs on it.
Also, so let me just explain it back to you the way I'm understanding, because now it makes so much sense to me now why they say don't get it, because we don't know how to properly use it.
No.
So since we don't know how to properly use it, because most of the time I have even done that myself. I've taken the mask and brought it up under my chin. Like when I come out of one store, as soon as I get in the car, I put it under my chin, I'm talking, and then when I go to the next store, I pull it back over my face. So technically what I was doing, oh my God, I was really transporting these viruses each time. So that's why they were saying that you can actually get it by putting the mask on.
Yes.
Oh my God.
There's no filter. It's a surgical mask.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Yes, I have another pet. Now this is the proper mask that you're supposed to use. This is the N95. This is the N95 that we wear in the hospital.
Oh, I ain't seen that one. That one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
This is the more snug. And what you do is you put this towards your nose. You have to, of course, you have to take this and put it on your head. Basically, you can tell how snug it's going to be because how I'm fighting it. And then you actually take this and put it over your head, and it's actually snugs like that.
Oh, okay.
You see what I'm saying? It snugs like this. And this way, the chin is snug, your nose is snug, your mouth is snug, and then the rubber band will go over your head, and no air is going through it.
Wow.
And this is a little bit more sturdier than the surgical mask.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I have a pet peeve with these surgical gloves. This is another thing I have a problem with that I've seen people go to the store with. Yes, it's good for us to be protected with these gloves. You know, I tell people to wash your hands when you before you put the gloves on, and wash them when you take the gloves off. But what's the sense of putting the gloves on when you're in Walmart or before you get to Walmart and you have the sharpen cart? You're touching the gloves with the sharpen cart. You go to the cart in the store, and then you're not taking your glove off. Then you're going to go pick up that apple.
Oh. Technically, I just actually contaminated my own food.
Yes.
Oh my God. I feel like, that is so deep. That is so. Wow.
I see so many people with the shopping cart going into Walmart or any store.
I do that.
And they probably go and they're caught, they're doing like this, but you're thinking your hand is protected underneath. Let me tell you, the virus stays on plastic gloves up to 9 hours. So you're going into Walmart. You're going into Walmart. You're not taking the gloves off because you're thinking your hand is protected underneath. But guess what? You're touching the food. You went from the cart to the food. You're going from the food to the freezer with the handle where everybody's touched it, barehanded, and you're touching that, opening the freezing, and you're taking all of the food that's out, and you're taking it, and you're taking the virus into your house.
Wow. Wow, that's so. Because you're touching your wallet with that.
Touching your wallet, you're touching your clothes. And I just don't understand the fascination. It's good to buy the bleach and it's good to buy the alcohol. But you know what? The virus lives on your clothes. Why is nobody's buying the detergent? You know, it's so hard. It's so hard to find bleach and it's so hard to find alcohol. But I'm like, the detergent aisle and the soap aisle is still packed. I'm like, well, why the virus lives on your clothes?
Wow.
Now I read, and you know, one of the CDC is saying that now when you're walking outside, you know, and this is fear. I'm not trying to spread fear, but I'm just trying to spread knowledge.
Yes, knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power. So now you can get it at the sole of your foot because you're walking outside. You know, and so nobody's really changing their shoes. You know, inside your car, it's good to probably have your car shoes. Now, you know, have some flip-flops, you know, while you're in your car, because you're going to track those same tennis shoes or those shoes that you've actually walked and those germ places, you're tracking it inside your house.
Because some people spit on the floor, on the ground.
Yes.
They'll cough up and spit on the ground. And then when they're talking, especially people who talk, it's going on the ground and you're walking with your shoes. And then if you're walking in that mist, it gets in your clothes, in your hands.
It travels 27 feet. It goes farther than it's airborne. And I think, you know, it's airborne, so it's in the air. So they tell you to cover your mouth, or even when you have a mask, to cough into the mask if you're sick. But I tell people, if you're sick, stay home. You don't have to go to the grocery store. You know, if you feel like you need to have sunshine, Go out on the balcony, get some of that vitamin D, but stay home. Stay home when you're sick. You know, be careful. Just learn. Just be careful. Have your mask, but just be cautious about how you pulling this mask down and talking to people
Because
and leaving it down.
if you pulling the mask down with the glove,
exactly,
or
and you've touched everything, and the germs stay on the glove the most.
wow.
The plastic.
That's why you see everybody dropping them on the ground everywhere.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh. Will it be important, because I see like all the cloth masks, right? And I guess my thing with the cloth mask, I can just feel air right through them, right?
There you go.
And
it has to have a filter.
Yeah, they say, "Oh, I put a filter in." But this is what I'm thinking about. Like, okay, because even myself, someone bought me a cloth mask to wear out, and I wore it out, and I had a filter in it. But when I came inside the house, I just laid it on my thing, and I was like, "Oh my God, I just contaminated this whole thing because I just laid it up here on this thing without even re-washing it."
See, exactly. If you're going to get a cloth mask, I tell people this. If it's a mask, I tell people to spray it down with alcohol. Alcohol is the number one, the 91% alcohol. Has been fighting bacteria for centuries. Because you don't want to wash your mask out of shape. You don't want to wash it out of shape. So if you want to wash it with maybe soap and water and just don't do a whole lot of wringing and then wash it out and then hang it up, you don't want to disproportion your mask. Because you don't want it to be like the surgical mask where it's just flimsy. And hopefully this will be over soon, but still, we don't know how long this virus is going to be around. We don't know if it might calm down in the summertime, but then it might pick up again, because China have had viruses for years, for centuries. So this might be a new thing. Maybe this might be a new world, a new way of living for us Americans. But I always tell people, let's just be careful about what we do with our mask and learn about the protective, the PPE, the personal protective equipment that we're using. Learn about that before you start using it, because when we see everybody using, we do it too, but we don't really understand. A lot of people don't understand that you're using things improper. You're not, you're using things like you're putting it on, but you don't know the conditions of how to use it because you're pulling it down. You going out with the gloves on and you're touching your carts, you're touching the foods. I mean, what good?
And I did it. Like, I cannot lie. I go in the store, get out in my car with my gloves on. Like, okay, I got my mask on, got my gloves on. I'm finna go in the store. I'm touching the cart, and this is what I do. I get the little wipe stuff and wipe that down, and then everything I'm touching, and I'm thinking about it right now as I'm talking to you. Everything I'm touching the doors, even though I just wiped it with the sanitizer, somebody else done open it. And touching it again,
and you touching the gloves, and now and then when you go home, because you're thinking that you're safe inside your house, and all that food that you don't touch with those gloves in the store, you're putting it in the refrigerator. That's the thing that I try to tell people. You have to just pay attention to your surroundings. You have to pay attention with your surroundings.
Say that again.
I tell people you have to pay attention to what you're doing and your surroundings.
No, it froze up when you were saying all that food you brought from
that food that you brought from the store. You put it into your car with the gloves, and now you probably taking your gloves off when you're in the house and throwing it in the garbage can. But guess what? You just put your food in the refrigerator.
Wow.
That meat, that chicken that's surrounded with the plastic, you probably put that in the freezer, but you touch that with the gloves.
That's true.
My thing is, the thing is, this virus is so serious that you don't want to leave no wiggle room to catch anything. You don't want to, if this is just a stage where I just tell people to be cautious in what you're doing. I had a couple of friends that actually work in the health field as well, and they're right now home on quarantine. And they're like, I've been off for a couple of days. I'm like, because you know what? Because that flu has already set up on you. It takes about 14 days for it to, basically 2 to 3 weeks before it manifests. And everybody, I tell people all the time who has the flu, everybody don't get symptoms. Everybody temperature is not 100. I'm such a low grade person that my temperature runs between 95 and 96. So when I get to be 99, 98, 99, I'll always have a low grade temp anyway.
Oh, I didn't even know that. I didn't know it was different. I just thought it was automatically, I have to ask you this because I saw an article that it was talking, and I know I'm running on my time, but I'm just like, it's been such an awesome show today. So, back in November, December, January, a lot of us had the flu because
I was one.
I was one of those people that had the flu. I could not go to events because I was like, and I never get a cold. I never get a flu. And I was like, oh my God, this I could not go to no events. I couldn't do nothing. And I don't really remember ever having a fever. And at that time, I had
You just feel lousy. You just felt lousy. You didn't have a fever.
I felt so bad. I had a fever. My fever got up to 104. And I took some Tylenol, laid down, rested, and then it came back again, and it did me like that for 2 days. And I was so weak, I was like, Lord Jesus, what is this? And I was praying, and I just rested, right? And for 4 days, I just laid in the bed, and then all of a sudden I just felt better. I just drank a lot of, vitamin C and took a lot of vitamins and stuff. But I think about the fact, and I had a cough that lingered, still now. Yes. You have a little cough, right? And I'm like, Lord, I don't claim no corona. You get what I mean? But the thing is that you think about how long stuff has probably been around that we wasn't protected.
I'm understanding that this corona has been in the United States earlier than fall, like August, September time. That's when flu season.
Wow.
And it really wasn't announced because this is America. This is America the Great. It really wasn't announced until earlier this year. But actually that COVID-19, it took effect the year of 2019.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's been around here in America. It's just that the impact, and we don't know if we're at the tail end of this impact. We don't know if it's clearing up because now people are beginning to be quiet about it. They're trying to kind of keep the fear from out of the public because they're trying to open up businesses again because America has really been hit hard with these businesses. And I mean, everything is shut down and it's been really bad for our economy. So they're trying to kind of keep it out of the media a little bit, which I don't know if that's good or bad because of the fact that I know we don't want to spread fear, but I don't want to open up those businesses too early when we really don't have a handle on it yet. That's very important.
Yeah, because if you open up those businesses right back up, it's going to be like a tsunami effect. It's going to be, to me, this is what my personal belief is. I know that we need businesses and businesses are hurting, but for me personally, there is no value to someone's life.
None.
Like your business, and I understand people are like, oh, the stock market, this and that. But to me, that's when you have put your trust in your finances to make it. But my life is worth more than your business.
My logo is always saying, don't be so busy living life that you forget about your health. And I tell people that all the time. Don't be so busy and so rushed and be so, we all love this world and we all love the sun and getting out and we like to live our lives. But you know what? Sometimes you got to put your health before before that life. So you can, health is what they say health is more valuable than wealth. I really do believe that. And we have to really, 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 really be, you know, you have to be true to yourself and say, what's more important to you? Is it the dollar more important, or is it the fact that you would like to see this beautiful sunshine and you want to be around with your family and your friends? If you stay in the house just a little while longer and just be safe.
Just be safe. It's just a little while. It's
a little while.
It's not going to be forever. And I just really believe if we all like come together and work on that, and it will really like save a lot of people's lives, you know. You know, because, and I'm not gonna get on that because that would like take us to a whole nother level. But the Black community, you know, as they say, you know, with the African American community, a lot of people are, you know, dying from the virus itself. And I have my own perks on that. So that's for the show tomorrow, you know, so we're like really digging deep in that tomorrow. But I just feel like every person, regardless of your race, your creed, or your color, that is very important to adhere to the rules, and not just their rules, but watch for ourselves.
Yes, and not only watch for yourself, but also be careful about how we say things, because a lot of people have been blaming China and the Chinese, and you're starting to begin to hear a lot of racial slurs towards our brothers and sisters over there in China. We can't do that. We can't bash people because a virus is a virus. We don't bash the flu. We can't bash the COVID-19. We can't do that. So we have to be careful about what we say, because my thing is they have feelings, and you know, a lot of their people are dying too. It's not like they're living. They had to bury their loved ones as well as we're burying ours. So this is kind of a time that we're supposed to show that agape love to one another, our brothers and sisters. We're supposed to help one another out. We're supposed to be very supportive in this time of need, of crisis. But I tell people before I leave here, be protective of these gloves. Just be alert. You know, if you're going to go into the store, take the gloves off, because your hands underneath is clean, supposedly, because you've had the gloves on and you've washed your hands. I tell people, wash their hands before they put the gloves on, wash their hands. And you know what? This is Purell. Carry Purell in your bag. You know, it kills 99% of bacteria. So,
I don't mean to cut you off, but so any of them that kills 99.9% of bacteria will work, because some of them, like I have one that's not Purell because they didn't have Purell. So I got one that was another brand, but that's what it said. And then a lot of people, because a friend of mine made some sanitizer, hand sanitizer with the 91% alcohol.
Yes. If that's the case, get yourself a 99 proof alcohol. Get the alcohol and put it in a spray bottle. They've been using that for centuries. Spray your hands. That's the best. Fighting bacteria antiseptic that you can ever have is alcohol. You can get the wintergreen, or you can get the 91% alcohol, and you can get that, and you can spray that. Keep that a little in your bottle, and you can spray it on your hand.
Well, look, I'm going to put you on so you can give some last minute tips, and I'll put you on by yourself, because I want people to really like, for those who come back and watch it, to really adhere to the things that you're saying, because it is very important. And it is very important for all of us, like I said before, no matter what the race is, for us to all work together during this time to fight off this virus is very, very important. And it's very important, as why I have you on too, is to give that knowledge, because knowledge is power. Oh my God, I wish people understand how powerful knowledge is and what it would do, how it would save your life. So I'm going to put you on by yourself so you can just like share some, you know, give some nuggets, girls.
Yes, I can't tell you enough, people. I'm going to tell you, not only just watch out for yourself, watch out for your neighbors. You know, we're all into this thing together. Just because you're feeling good and you might not think that you have the flu, but guess what? There might be someone that have an illness, that has asthma, that have some type of underlying defect, that you can pass that on to them, and they might not make it all that well. So I'm going to go through this again with these surgical masks. Be careful how you use them. Make sure if you're going to use this mask, the surgical mask, make sure, be careful. Don't pull it down like this, because this is the wrong way of doing things. And it's not that supportive. Even if you have your own personal mask, I tell you, don't take it down talking and communicating. Yes, you have a beautiful smile. Just try not to, just be careful. Just be careful on not to, doing this one more time and just showing you, make sure that you don't do this and leave it down for a very long time, because you you're talking into your germs. This is germs at this point. When you have your gloves on, you want to make sure that you wash your hands before you put your gloves on. And you want to make sure that when you put the gloves on, be careful on how you touch your food. Be careful not to touch the food with your gloves, and just be safe. Be safe, and knowledge is power. And I just wish everyone well and be blessed.
Thank you so much, Tina. I appreciate you so much for coming on, and thank you for being patient. It was really a really great honor to have you on, and many much success to you, and just keep doing what you're doing, girl.
My goal is to try to put it out as much as public health knowledge as possible. That's what I do, as well as taking care of the sick. My hopefully, if God bless me, I'll be doing more public health, so I can kind of get the word out, because we don't have that. Our public health system is not that great, so it needs to be. I think it needs to be a little broadened out to where we would have known this if we didn't have those broken barriers when it comes to public health.
Yeah, and you could be that advocate, that person.
Yeah, I'm trying. That's why I learn every day. I try to get knowledge every day.
Wow, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud. I love you so much, Tina. I really do, girl.
Thank you. I love you too, Melody. And it's such a nice to come and help and be a part of your show, because you have what you got going on here, girl. It's a God thing. He's blessed you. You are amazing. I love watching that. This is new here. I like this. This is
I like it too.
I like it. I like that background that you got going on those colors, because you love colors. I like it.
That makes me happy, girl. I love colors.
I said if I don't watch nobody else, I watch Mel, because you always got something going on.
Well, thank you, girl. I appreciate the support. I really do. And that's what I feel like we're supposed to do, is celebrate each other, because we are all awesome in the lane that God has us in. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Well, I'm going to put all your information in the comment section so people can follow you on your social media. So if they want to hit you up on some more knowledge, right, on how to use these things, I want them to be able to, contact you and DM you so that they can.
Right. My best place right now, my platform is basically the Instagram TK Hope for Cancer. And that's for the Instagram. Uh-huh.
Okay. I will make sure I put your Instagram in the comment section so everybody can follow you.
Thank you so much. And it was such a nice being on your show again.
Awesome. Thank you.
People.
Yes. Awesome. Okay. Thank you. Have a good one.
You too.
All right, bye-bye. All right, you guys. I hope that you have enjoyed that. I truly enjoyed it today. I mean, wow, I actually hated getting off with either one of them, because both of them were so knowledgeable on two different aspects of your life. And this is, me going, oh, okay. See y'all.